May 2020 Planetary Transits for Taurus and Taurus Rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Taurus on the ascendant, Eastern Daylight Time, New York. We begin May 1st, 2020 with 2 planets in Capricorn in the 9th house sector. Jupiter at 26 degrees of Capricorn and Pluto at 24 degrees of Capricorn retrograde. The Sun is placed in the 1st house at 11 degrees of Taurus, along with the planet Uranus at 6 degrees and the planet Mercury also at 6 degrees. Venus is placed at 19 degrees of Gemini in the 2nd house sector. Saturn is at 1 degree of Aquarius in the 10th house, along with the planet Mars at 21 degrees. Neptune is at 20 degrees of Pisces in the 11th house, and the Moon is in Leo at 15 degrees in the 4th. Overview. April 20th through April 29th birth dates. Sun in Taurus at 0 to 9 degrees. Delays, obstacles, and frustrating circumstances are usually characteristic of Saturn square the natal Sun. Saturn in Aquarius all month is making a square aspect to your Sun, especially for April 20th, 21st, and 22nd birthdays, and continuing until July 1st. This is an important testing period, asking you to define who you are and where you stand, especially in relation to career concerns. It also tests the validity of the choices you have made. On another level, take care of your health. This energy can lower your vitality, making you more susceptible to cold, chills, and flu. High-pressure circumstances in your life may be draining your stamina. On top of that, psychologically, it can be fearful and depressing. Adopt a new diet and health regimen, which includes exercise, fresh water, and vitamins. Detox. Transiting Uranus in Taurus in 2020 will impact the April 25th through 29th birth dates of Taurus, indicating opportunities for big change and a few sudden unexpected surprises. Be flexible and welcome it. April 30th through May 9th birth dates. Sun in Taurus at 10 degrees to 19 degrees. April 30th and May 1st birth dates will feel the impact of Uranus conjunct the Sun in 2020. Get ready to rock and roll, because change is in the air. May 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th birthdays will have their sidereal Sun placement impacted by Pluto square the Sun in 2020, meaning dramatic, sweeping changes are about to take place. May 10th through May 19th birth dates, Sun in Taurus at 20 degrees to 29 degrees. Pugnacious Mars will be making a high-tension square to the Sun for this group over the first 2 weeks of May of 2020. Chill out. Nothing is gained by lashing out uncontrollably. Transiting Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn will make a harmonious trine to your Sun in 2020. May 11th through 15th birth dates will have Pluto trine the Sun at exactitude, and May 14th through May 20th birth dates will have Saturn trine the Sun at exactitude. May 14th and May 15th will have both at the same time. Saturn trine the Sun is a stabilizing influence, while Pluto trine the Sun brings positive change and rewards for past efforts. Both these influences acting together may bring significant career advancement. However, those born May 14th, 15th, and 16th have the placement of their sidereal Sun receiving a square from Saturn from March 22nd through July 1st. This can manifest several ways. There could be a delay or obstacles to advancement temporarily. If recently promoted, this period could bring a testing time to ascertain whether or not you can handle the additional responsibilities. Whatever develops, you're apt to feel pressure to perform under this vibration. Guard your health, as your vitality may be lowered due to stress. Okay, those were the long-term transits that are in effect on and off during the entire year of 2020. We're going into daily aspects now. These are more subtle, and they will impact your state of mind and your mood for a time, usually for the few hours that they're in effect or for that whole day that they're in effect. It doesn't hurt to be aware of how your mood or how your state of mind is being impacted from day to day and moment to moment. Okay, these energies are important, but they're not as dramatic as the long-term transits of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. On May 3rd, Venus square Neptune, between houses 2 and 11, is an aspect of deception resulting in confusion. The information you receive on the mental plane may be at odds with what your gut feelings are telling you about a situation. On another level, do not permit any news you receive to activate your inherent fears. Your imagination may be in overdrive. The planet Mercury conjuncts the Sun on May 4th in your first house, bringing the possibility of good news. Expect this to be a day very busy and full of emails, phone calls, and text messages. Mercury rules communication. And when it's with the Sun, there's going to be a focus. May 7th brings the full moon, 6:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 17 degrees of Scorpio in opposition to the Sun at 17 degrees of Taurus, spanning houses 7 and 1, highlighting partnerships and the duties and responsibilities required to maintain a connection versus how much we owe to ourselves as individuals. The planet Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces is aspecting this full moon harmoniously by trine and sextile, along with Mercury at 20 degrees of Taurus, making a conjunction and opposition. These are excellent energies to communicate, compromise, and iron out all issues between you and a partner, both personal and business. On May 9th, under Mercury trine Pluto, and on May 10th, under Mercury trine Jupiter, between houses 1 and 9, all issues involving legalities, international contacts, education, and travel may be dealt with easily with favorable outcomes for everyone. The Sun in the first house, sextile Neptune in the 11th on May 10th, is a good day to reach out to a friend in need. Your sensitivity and compassion is heightened. Also on May 10th, the planet Saturn turns retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius. Mercury square Mars on May 10th or 11th, depending on your location, between houses 1 and 10 is a frictional energy. Care is needed on how you communicate with others. In other words, avoid harshness. On May 11th, the planet Mercury enters Gemini and moves into your second house. On May 12th, Mars enters Pisces and moves into your 11th house. The planet Venus turns retrograde on May 13th at 21 degrees of Gemini, and Jupiter turns retrograde on May 14th at 27 degrees of Capricorn. May 15th brings the Sun trine Pluto between houses 1 and 9, favoring international connections, educational pursuits, and travel. Sun trine Jupiter on May 17th, also between houses 1 and 9, is an expansive and optimistic vibration. Take a break from the usual routine and satisfy your wanderlust. On May 20th, a retrograde Venus square Neptune between houses 2 and 11 could indicate receiving communication from an old love or friend from your past. It could open up buried feelings and emotions. Protect your emotions and don't believe everything you hear. Also on May 20th, the Sun enters Gemini and moves into your second house. May 22nd brings the new moon, 1:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 2 degrees of Gemini in the second house, highlighting personal finances and values over the month ahead. Set up a new budget plan to follow. May 22nd is action-packed with three aspects that all indicate a focus on career concerns and finances. Sun trines Saturn between houses 2 and 10, and Mercury conjunct Venus in the second, indicate favorable and harmonious discussions that lead to greater productivity at work. An excellent day for meetings. Under Mercury square Neptune, however, some confusion is inevitable, usually due to not having all the facts upon which to base a decision. Best bet is to wait until you have greater clarity. Mars sextile Uranus on May 25th between houses 11 and 1 is a freedom aspect, meaning chances are you will be in the mood to break out, break free, and get away from routine duties and responsibilities. Since this energy involves the 11th house of friendships and group activities, don't try to go it alone, but connect with others instead.